if I pay for a GP appointment on the NHS, it wouldn't be the NHS.
Would you pay for a GP appointment on the NHS?
Absolutely not, on principle. You know, it's a very neoliberal trope, isn't it, to try and run a service into the ground and then claim it's not fit for purpose. Actually, why don't we invest in the NHS? You know, it is the privatisation of the NHS which is causing the problem rather than being the symptom, so absolutely not.
Difficult one. Like, I'm from Ireland, and in Ireland everyone pays for a GP appointment, and it's about €60 a visit. So that's something that I'm kind of accustomed to because I'm used to it. So when I came to the UK, I couldn't believe that the appointments were free for the GP.
So I think the NHS is getting abused from every angle.
I've been living with stage 4 cancer for nearly 4 years, and I have never had any contact with my GP over that rather serious condition.
Due to not being able to get an appointment, or?
Due to them being, it would seem, utterly unaware of it. They send me text messages. I don't have a smartphone. They send me text messages asking me to update their records.
Do you think then it's an accessibility issue?
Yes, absolutely. I think GPs have become virtually inaccessible.
I think everyone should have a choice. So people that want to pay, that's great. People that don't want to pay, they shouldn't have to.
The people that are abusing the NHS are the government. The people that are abusing the NHS are the leeches and the parasites which are trying to suck it dry. So that's where the fault lies.
In Ireland, I think they manage it pretty well in the sense that anyone who's got a medical card, so low-income families, they are excluded from that, so they don't have to pay for the appointments. But it does mean that you always get an appointment when you need it. And that's something that I think everyone's struggling with at the moment here, not being able to get appointments. So I'm a bit torn. I do feel like people who can't afford it should always have access to medical care and they should be treated. But also, I personally wouldn't mind paying a fee towards my G appointment to get an appointment when I need it.
The NHS should be funded through the taxpayer, and the NHS should be funded through higher rates of taxation to those that can afford it the most, and that's cutting off, any kind of loopholes which are making sure that people, ensuring people don't pay their fair share of tax.
What do you think of Rishi Sunak's idea to fine people if they miss appointments?
That's not the solution either. The solution is not to punish the poorest and most vulnerable in society. I mean, of course, Rishi Sunak doesn't see it that way. The solution is to ensure that we have an NHS which is fully funded, which is the envy of the world, and is supported and protected by the government.
No, I wouldn't pay for a GP appointment in the NHS. That's the whole point of the NHS. We have free healthcare, so I don't see why we'd have to pay or why there'd be an easy pay. But trying to get a GP appointment nowadays is just absolutely ridiculous.
And why do you think that is?
I think there's a lack of people trying to get into healthcare. So the GP appointments are stacking up, and there's really not enough GPs to handle a lot of patients.
And so would you pay for a GP appointment on the NHS?
If it made my treatment and everything about the NHS better, I would pay.
How much would you pay?
I have no idea. 100%. I think the NHS is getting abused from every angle. Like, first of all, people go to the doctors for literally no reason, first of all. They're not getting paid enough. Every angle you can think of, there is something bad to say about.
What about people missing appointments?
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah.
So what do you think of Rishi Sunak's idea to introduce a fine?
A fine for missing your appointment? I think it's a good idea.
Have you ever missed a GP appointment?
Never.